Good morning, Niner fans. How are we feeling on this beautiful Friday morning, afternoon? It is Super Bowl week, and you know what? It is only 2 more days until the 49ers play in the Super Bowl. I can't believe it. How the hell is everybody? We've been having a great week out here. Super Bowl week, the NFL fan experience. There was NFL honors last night. We got to talk about that. 49ers practicing on a crazy field. And what else happened this week? There was an alarm that got pulled off early in the morning that woke the team up. It's been a wild week. That's all I know. Like Super Bowl week is crazy, and it hasn't even hit Sunday. And there's even going to be more craziness before Sunday. A lot of parties, watch parties, like pregame hypes. It's insane out here. But how's everybody feeling? I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great week. Man, there's just so much to talk about during this week in this game. You know, just first off, shout out to Patrick Willis. Let's get to this top story here. I want to talk about Patrick Willis. Finally, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame yesterday, and man, it was a great class. It was like a hell of a pro football class. But obviously for us, we care about Patrick Willis. This man was one of the best linebackers of all time. I don't care what you want to say. He was top linebacker when he was playing. Him and Ray Lewis were like 1 and 2. Unfortunate injuries kind of threw him away from the game early, but that guy's career was fantastic. And, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. He's so humble. He's a nice guy. I don't know if you ever met him, if you've been to like any signings or events that Patrick Willis has been at. Always a nice guy. So very well deserved. He was a hell of a player. He was a captain of this team. And, the speeches, the pregame speeches give you goosebumps. And, the cool thing about it was, this guy is just through and through, Niner faithful. He loved the team. He's always talking about the team. So good stuff for him. And again, finally, after years of trying to get in, they finally get it right. And Patrick Willis joins the illustrious 49er members in the Hall of Fame. He's the next one up. And I don't know if you guys saw the video, but when he got presented and when he found out it was Bryant Young, BY went out there, knocked on the door and told him, hey, you're in the Hall of Fame. And he broke down. And it was a cool signing. It's a cool moment. So I don't know if you've seen that. It's floating around Twitter and stuff. I think I posted it on my page at some point. But yeah, good for Patrick Willis, man. This guy was like one of the guys that many like newer age Niner fans, the younger Niner fans, kind of grew up watching. That was like the guy that got him hooked into football. I know a lot of people that say that. When I was watching football during the years Patrick Willis was there, I was like, man, this guy is just one of those ones. It's like one of your favorite players. He's one of the guys that really set the tone for a lot of Niner fans. I mean, I think pretty much every Niner fan has a Patrick Willis jersey, right? So, yeah, California love. We'll talk about that. I saw that video on ESPN. Cam Newton, he doesn't trust Brock Purdy. But then on the flip side, you have Drew Brees, who does trust Brock Purdy. So there's different things to this. There's different levels to it. We're going to find out what Brock Purdy's all about. Speaking of Brock Purdy, yesterday he won the FedEx Air Player of the Year award. That is awesome, man. I know he didn't win MVP. He got fourth in voting. I think him and CMC pretty much cancel each other out. But, Brock Purdy did get some, cool, trophies and a lot of, recognition through the year. But at the end of the day, MVP, none of that stuff matters if you don't win the Super Bowl. So I hope that he's hoisting the Lombardi, winning the MVP secondary to that. So, but yeah, Drew Brees says this guy can orchestrate the offense well, and he's going to be able to lead this team and all this good stuff. So I'm excited to see what Brock Purdy can do in the Super Bowl, and I'm excited to see what CMC can do. CMC won the Offensive Player of the Year award. Once he won that, I kind of figured he's probably not going to win MVP because it's kind of like the runner-up award, the Offensive Player of the Year. But hey, man, shout out to Christian McCaffrey. The guy said it's not done. We got one more game to make it, count and everything. So happy for CMC. That's great news, right? It's fantastic for Christian McCaffrey. He definitely was the Offensive Player of the Year. So it was good to see that. Happy about that. And I think the more I think about it, I think Christian McCaffrey has a very high chance of being the Super Bowl MVP. If they play the way that they need to play, I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey hoisting the MVP award. Although earlier in the week, I said Debo. I could still see a Debo heavy game, but I don't know. I just feel like CMC might take over this game as the week has kind of went by. But we'll see how things play out. And speaking of how the week has played out, let's talk about this. This is the big story of the week. So we know that the fields have been kind of very poor. UNLV practice fields for the 49ers, squishy field. It's not up to par, but they made the most of it. The 49ers said, okay, we're going to make the most of it. We're going to do what we got to do. Can't complain. We just got to go out there and do our thing, because if they complain, people are going to call us the 41ers. They already are. So they're out there handling business, doing what they got to do. 6 a.m. apparently yesterday, alarm went off, woke everybody up, got everybody kind of out of their routine. And Debo said it's happened multiple times this week. So he says, I'm pretty sure that this is not a coincidence. And then Christian McCaffrey and Nick Bosa were pretty irritated about it. They said that they feel like it's something that people are doing on purpose. People are pulling the fire alarm because they know the Niners are in the hotel, and it's sabotage kind of thing like that. I mean, it's stupid. I'm sure there are people out there, the Niners are in the hotel, let's play a prank, because a lot of people are asking before they got to the hotel, oh, where are the Niners staying? Where are the Niners staying? I'm sure Chiefs fans or somebody stupid, some kid pulling the alarm, think it's funny, like a prank, but it's kind of annoying because the 49ers have had a lot of obstacles this week. The practice field, the alarm. Now I get it. They probably set their alarms. They got to wake up anyways. Like Kittle said, it was probably like 10 minutes before his alarm. Kyle Juszczyk said it was like 20 minutes before his alarm. So it's not like that big of a deal. But some guys they need that routine. And then when you throw them off that routine, it kind of, kind of messes them up a little bit. But it is what it is. They got a couple of days to, rest and get their mind right. But I just feel like the 49ers have had so many distractions this week between the field and all those dumb alarms. And then the media, on top of it, obviously the Chiefs have to deal with the media as well. So I'm not going to say that it's only the Niners. But man, Super Bowl week is tough. That's what I've learned being out here, because there's so much things going on. I was at the media convention, so I was at Mandalay Bay, but there's so many things going on. So it's like camera in your face, mic in your face, all the stars, everybody's out. You got Brian Baldinger, you got all the big media execs, Jim Rome, everybody's out there, Stuart or Rich Eisen, everybody's out there talking to you, mic in your face, ESPN, NFL on Fox, CBS, they're all sitting there. At some point, it's got to get exhausting. It's got to get tiring. You go, wake up, practice, come to the media room, and they're asking you the same questions, or they're asking you some dumb questions. Like somebody asked Brock Purdy about, you look like Lee Harvey Oswald. Come on, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know how I'd be able to deal with it if I was a player on one of those teams. That's got to be a lot. So it definitely is a obligation that they have to uphold, and that's why Marshawn Lynch, the man, was ahead of the times. He was a smart guy. That's why if you look back historically, Marshawn Lynch was probably the smartest guy on media week. He would come up and he said, "I'm just here to get fined." He's not going to give him any quote. He's not going to give him any type of juicy information, because the media is looking for stories. They're looking for. I mean, people that have social media pages, they want to post something. They want to get a viral clip. They want to get a viral quote. Oh, he said this. He said this. That's what they're looking for. Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Right? I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah. A lot of weird questions, But I guess, after so many days of questions, you run out of things to come up with, and you ask them, oh, how would you feel like getting a Brock Purdy tattoo on your face? Like just the weird questions they were coming up with. But that's media week, and that's why it's hard to win a Super Bowl, because it's not just you have to focus on preparing for the team. There's so much that goes into it. It's such a big event. It is the biggest sporting event, in the world, and maybe not more than the World Cup, but traditionally it's one of the biggest sporting events of the year. It's the Super Bowl, right? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl, right? Everybody hypes this up. So of course the media is going to be at an all-time high. So dealing with this on top of practicing, preparing, making sure your mind's right is tough. And I think that's one of the big questions. So that's one of the big takeaways this week. Earlier, a lot of people are saying, why don't they just stay in Santa Clara and practice? Why don't they just, you can't practice in Santa Clara or somewhere else when you have media obligations. So like right after practice, you got to go meet with the media. So that's the logistics. Like you can't be on a Zoom call or like a FaceTime with the media. Hey, we're in Santa Clara. How's everybody doing? You have to be in the town that you're in. That's the Super Bowl. So definitely unfortunate. But yeah, I kind of felt a little. I felt bad for these guys. The Sentinels football channel says the Vegas wants everyone to pick the Chiefs. NFL knows they manipulated Super Bowl 54. Same refs, jerseys, sabotaging our practicing. I don't know if it's a a sabotage or the conspiracies, as everybody's saying. But it definitely feels, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Definitely is weird. My man Red Eye says RC was being an ass. Stroud set him straight. Yo, that interview from CJ Stroud was fantastic. He's a very well spoken young man. He's a very humble young man. He's going to be a great quarterback. He's going to be one of the all timers if he keeps it up. Obviously, the way he is, he stood right in front of Ryan Clark and told him Brock Purdy is that guy. The way he delivers the ball, the accuracy. He says the film don't lie. Right in front of Ryan Clark's face. That was an all time moment, man. I love CJ Stroud for that. I gained a lot more respect for him. I had a lot of respect for him, so I gained even more. Guy's a heck of a player. Offensive Rookie of the Year. He deserved it. Houston, man, great team. Great young team. I feel D'Amico got robbed on Coach of the Year. I cannot believe they took Stefanski. He's a good coach, don't get me wrong. The Browns making the playoffs with Joe Flacco and all the quarterback issues they had was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Great defense. But come on, D'Amico Ryan's rookie head coach. He had a rookie quarterback. This is the Houston Texans. They win the division and make the playoffs, and they won a game in the playoffs. D'Amico Ryans got snubbed in that area, but shout out to D'Amico, man. He gave a lot of love to the Niners yesterday. He said that he's rooting for the squad. Of course, it's his former team. He was the coach for, right? Defensive coordinator. And, he loves all the players. Fred Warner, Greenlaw, he gave him a little love. So good to hear, good to see. I love D'Amico, man. He definitely got snubbed. Yeah, Red Eye, I think you hit it right on the head. It seems like people want the Chiefs to win because the NFL narrative of Mahomes being the next Brady is what they want to push. It does seem that way. Again, I don't know if it's going to be, if it's scripted. I don't know about all that stuff. But if there is one, it definitely feels like they're trying to push for this. Mahomes is Brady, 3 years or 3 Super Bowls. Oh, my God. He's going to pass Brady. Oh, his pace is better than Brady. I can't deal with it if he wins, right? It's gonna be crazy. My man, hey, Peter Parker says Niners versus everybody. Yeah. Susan says, I'm sorry. DeMar Hamlin was literally dead and he didn't win comeback. I thought DeMar Hamlin was a shoe-in to win the comeback player of the year. I was like, as soon as he stepped on the field, I mean, whether you think he did good or not this year, the fact that he came back from being dead, it's crazy that he didn't win comeback player of the year. Joe Flacco, he even said on, I can't remember what interview he said, don't make me comeback player of the year. I didn't come back from anything. I mean, Joe Flacco, man, hell of a story, but I don't think he should have been comeback player of the year. I wish that Brock Purdy was at least nominated. I think he should have been nominated. But I know he didn't miss a significant portion of games. He tore his, UCL in the NFC Championship game, so it didn't cost him to lose any further games, or he was able to come back. But he missed the NFC Championship technically, and he had to come back, and he played at an MVP level, right? So I don't know what their criteria is. You might have to miss a certain amount of games or whatever, but I think Brock Purdy should have been in that category. But what do I know? Joe Flacco sitting on the couch to taking his team to the playoffs. That's a comeback. That's a hell of a comeback story, right? So the awards were definitely interesting, but I think they got most of them right. I knew Lamar was going to win MVP after he beat the Niners. It pretty much solidified it. I mean, it is what it is. They weren't going to give it to Brock. They weren't going to give it to CMC. So at least they gave CMC the Offensive Player of the Year award. But I would have loved to see Brock Purdy or CMC take home that MVP award. But again, doesn't matter. MVP is chump change compared to the Lombardi. And if you win Super Bowl MVP, that's even better. So my man Sentinel Football says, I was listening to Chiefs content creators. They're calm, confident, talking three-peat already. That's dangerous work, man. You cannot think ahead. You cannot look about a three-peat. I'm pretty confident in the 49ers. I think they can handle business, but you got to let it play out. I'm not going to talk trash. Obviously we don't control how things are going, but I feel like you have to have a certain mindset. You don't want to kind of get this away, because if you start saying stupid stuff, the fan base is going to, look crazy, and it is what it is, because there's a lot of people every week that are reckless on social media. So try not to be too reckless, but after, we're going to talk a lot if the 49ers win. So I'm hoping, I'm excited. I can't wait for Sunday. My man Red Eye says Chiefs are overconfident. Yeah, they might be a little overconfident. They feel like, oh yeah, we won last year. We've been in this place. Now we're the underdogs. Try to count us out. We got Mahomes. We got Andy Reid. It's a weird situation for them. I think they're always going to be confident. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes. You're going to be a confident team. But I don't know. I think people are overlooking the 49ers. I had a lot of people texting me this morning. Oh, I'm scared of the Chiefs. I'm scared of the Chiefs. And don't get me wrong. I'm really, you know, not so far nervous, but I understand the Chiefs are. My response to all of them was, well, people should be afraid of the 49ers. People should be afraid of the 49ers. Why are people just afraid of the Chiefs? Like that's the thing. Like, yeah, okay, people could be afraid of the Chiefs, but why aren't people afraid of the Niners? Look at the roster, top to bottom. This is the best roster in the NFL, right? I think they are not afraid of the 49ers because Brock Purdy. That's it. That's the bottom line is people are not afraid of Brock Purdy. That's it. And I hope when he goes out there and he deals and he has a heck of a game, he earns some respect. But if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, they're not gonna put respect on Brock's name, and that's the unfortunate part. It's gonna be, oh well, they won because of XYZ. They won because of CMC and Debo because Brock had these guys. They're not gonna give them the respect. They're gonna keep moving the goalpost. The story's fantastic though. You take away Brock Purdy from this team, they don't make the Super Bowl, man. They don't even make the playoffs, I don't think. And that's what people don't get it because he's put this team in position to win a lot of games. The game winning drives, just the way he stretches plays. There's been times where the defense wasn't able to, hold a team. And if it wasn't for the offense getting to where it needed to be and Brock Purdy putting them in good positions, they wouldn't have won games. So we'll see. A lot of people are going to be disappointed if the 49ers win because Brock Purdy is going to be this hell. I mean, the story is incredible. We all know how wild the story is, but there's so many layers. Like there was another one. I was talking to C-Mac today, and he's like, "Look, and Brock Purdy was drafted in Vegas when they did the NFL draft in Vegas. That's where the 49ers drafted in 260, pick 262 during the draft in Las Vegas. And now he plays a Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Can you imagine they win their first Super Bowl in 29 years in Las Vegas, the city that he was drafted in? It's a crazy story. So many layers to this story. Like every day you find a new wrinkle to this story. And then I love that his hometown, uh, his school, the Puma, they changed Perry High. They changed the street outside of the school from Puma Drive to Brock Purdy Way. His school renamed the street for Brock Purdy, and that's a hell of a way to give someone their flowers. So he's getting respect from the people that definitely. Oh wow, we got some breaking news. Ohio State is expected to hire Chip Kelly as their offensive coordinator. I just saw that pop up real quick. Chip Kelly, former Niners. And let's talk about Chip Kelly. Now that news just caught, this is totally off topic. Chip Kelly, right? Offensive coordinator now for the Ohio State Buckeyes. But can you remember when the 49ers had Chip Kelly? It was disaster. So I am so happy the 49ers were able to get Kyle Shanahan. He's done a hell of a job. I hope there's no Kyle Shanahan slander, whether the 49ers win or lose. I hope he wins because his story will be even better, right? Because a lot of people have slandered Kyle Shanahan. But I feel like a lot of this game, obviously it should, but a lot of this game hangs on Kyle Shanahan's shoulders, his game plan. How are they going to adjust? Can he outcoach Andy Reid and that Chiefs team? Kyle has a lot of pressure on this game. I feel like there's more pressure on Kyle than anybody coming into this game, even more than Brock Purdy, because Kyle Shanahan has been so close so many times. He's the son of Mike Shanahan. All the Super Bowls he's won with the teams that he's been with, as a coach and coordinator and everything. And Kyle was born to do this job. He's always wanted to be a coach. He got so close multiple times as a coordinator and a coach. He's blown games. And now Kyle has a chance with this stacked roster, the best team he's had, I feel, to go out there and do the damn thing. And you know what? If he doesn't win, people are going to continue to just throw slime at his name. And I hope that Kyle can win this game, you know, because he doesn't deserve the hate. He's been a hell of a coach. If you really look at the guy, like I just mentioned, Chip Kelly, compared to a Kyle Shanahan, it's disgusting. Like, yeah, he hasn't been able to take this team all the way. They've gotten so close, man. They've gotten so close. But this year, I hope that Kyle gets it done. So, yeah, I like Shanahan. And, a lot of people have been kind of hating on him over the last couple of years, and they keep bringing up the fact this year they did it a lot. They kept bringing up the fact he can't make a comeback when, the stat was there, the ESPN stat, 0-30 or whatever, when he's trailing in the second half. But these last two games, he made the comebacks. So the whole 28-3, disaster, you kind of throw that to the wayside, the way he's been able to come back these last couple of weeks. Now, he's got to finish the job, finish the story in Super Bowl Sunday. But if Kyle Shanahan can get this dub, man, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible for Kyle. It's going to be incredible for this team. And you can never slander Kyle again because he'll finally have gotten over the hump, man. And that's what he needs. He just needs to get the monkey off his back. So. Yeah, YouTube's got it out for me. Unfortunately, faithful to the Bay. I appreciate that you wanted a super chat, but we don't have that option anymore right now. But we're working on fixing that. YouTube, we got some issues to string out, but it is all good. Appreciate the love though. So yeah, I think they'll always move the goalposts, guys, for everybody on this team. It's just the 49ers versus the world versus the media. Really, 49ers versus the media. Oh, Julius, this is a good topic. Let's talk about this because this was one of the big topics. I didn't get a chance to go over this the other day. I've been in and out and bit over all over the place. This is one of the craziest topics. So I don't know if you guys heard this or saw this, but apparently, according to numerous reports, there's NFL executives that are mad at the 49ers use the system, manipulate the system or whatever they want. The way they say it is, they manipulate the system and, they only hire minorities and they're mad that the 49ers keep getting comp picks because they hire minority coaches. Why are you mad for a team that's recognizing the, opportunities placed down? The league offers every single team, not just the 49ers. Every single team is allowed to hire whoever they want for whatever position they want. You can hire a minority, you can hire a non-minority, whatever it is. If you think someone's qualified for the job, you hire. And it just so happens the 49ers are a very diverse, culturally acceptable team, and they hire minority coaches. And Kyle Shanahan, he knows how to develop these coaches. He gets the most of them. And then teams poach the 49ers coaches. So, okay, they're going to criticize the 49ers for hiring their minorities and then getting comp picks out of them. But these are the same teams that are taking the 49ers coaches. If you don't want the 49ers to do it, don't hire their coaches and do better. Hire your own minorities. Every team has the same opportunity. You know what? If I'm the GM and I have an interview, I can sit there and look at all the candidates, and it is up to me to say, hey, this guy was the best for the job. And if he's a minority and he does good and he becomes a head coach, guess what? You can get comp picks too. It is so dumb that teams are so mad. They're crying that the 49ers are just taking, I wouldn't even say taking advantage. They're just using the opportunities that are placed upon them from the NFL. The NFL wants to be diverse. They want to give people, more opportunities because, minorities typically in history and society don't get opportunities, or they haven't in the past. Nowadays, it's changed. Obviously, it's still not 100%, but it's not just the 49ers that are the only team that can do it. So I thought it was dumb that the teams are complaining. And then everybody in comment sections and all over the place when those, posts were made, oh, the 49ers are just baby. Because when you say that opinion, when you give your opinion and you say, do better. I think I posted on, I don't know, I don't think it was JPA football. I posted under the comments. I was like, well, just do better and hire good coaches. It's simple as that. Stop crying. And people are like, oh my God, it's so crazy that a Niner fan saying stop crying. Niner fans are whiners. I was like, we're literally not the ones whining. We're telling you to get better, do better as hiring coaches and developing your coaches. Like, if you want the comp picks, you could do it too. Go hire a minority, make them a good coach, and see if they get a head coach job. You can do. It's just crazy. I cannot believe the teams were upset about the 49ers doing this. It is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, Red Eye says you don't get the picks for interviewing. You actually have to hire them, and then they have to succeed. It's a full process. See, you interview them, you hire them, you develop them, they become a good coach, and then they get selected by another team to become a head coach or a GM or whatever the case is, and you get topics. So at the end of the day, these teams just are admitting that they suck at developing coaches. That's it. Bottom line. How many teams sit there at the end of the season? At the end of the season, how many teams at the end of the season, guys, call the 49ers? Oh, we want this coach. We want D'Amico Ryans. We want Mike McDaniel. We want, Robert Salah. We want Coach Wilkes. We want Martin Mayhew. We want every single one of your coaches or your front office members. Everybody begs for the 49ers coaches. Yet they're the ones that are saying, why are you hiring minorities and getting comp picks out of it? That's the opportunity provided by the NFL. Deal with it. Be better. Be better. That's what my message to these other teams that are complaining. Just be better. Blows my mind. It blows my mind that they complain about that. That is actually an outlandish topic to complain about, in my opinion. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's crazy. What a week the 49ers have dealt with. Poor practice fields. The alarm going off and waking the team up. And people complaining that they hire minorities and develop them. It's crazy. The formula for comp picks for players loss, honestly, it is very complicated. I know the formula for coaches, if they've been on a team for 2 years and they're a minority and they're a coach, and they go to another team and become, a head coach, not just a coordinator or whatnot, you get 3 comp picks. So, but the player, it's just based on how. That's a whole nother topic. I'll have to kind of brush up on that. Off the top of my head, it's pretty complicated, but it is definitely a lengthy process. And that process was the one that had CJ Beathard when he left to the Niners, or from the Niners to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We were bestowed a 7th round pick, which was pick 262, and that became Brock Purdy. So I don't know exactly the formula off the top of my head, but I just know that the 49ers really know how to use the system. They know how to get comp picks from players. They know how to get comp picks from coaches. They're smart, man. And that's what this team has done. They built a phenomenal team based on the draft, based on free agency, a little bit of free agency trades, a little bit, but a lot of it through the draft. They understand how the draft works, and they use that to their advantage. And they've built this team through the draft. Look at this team: Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa. Obviously, that was a top pick. You can't miss that one. But Juwan Jennings, Charvarius Ward was a free agent signing. CMC was a trade, right? So they have a few of those in there. But for the most part, this team was built through the draft. Diamador Lenore, a lot of this team, the crust of this team, the majority of this team is built through the draft. Of course, they're going to get some free agents in here and there, but most teams, they'll buy players, they'll trade players. They don't really develop their own talent. The 49ers develop their talent. It's amazing how they do it. So it's fantastic the way the 49ers do it. They do it the sensible way. That's how you build a team, man. So but that's pretty much how the week has gone here for the 49ers. It's been wild, a lot of media, in their face and the practice, and great to see some awards and recognition for Christian McCaffrey. He definitely deserved it. And shout out to Patrick Willis once again. I was hyped to see Patrick Willis get that Hall of Fame nod. It was damn time. It was damn time. So good stuff. Just been a lot of stories, a lot of media. I feel like the difference though this year is obviously the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and the media is, got to be in their face. But last year, Super Bowl week, the 49ers were not in the Super Bowl, but they were still the talk of the town. You know how many shows they were on Radio Row, right? All the juicy comments. You had Christian McCaffrey, and they asked him, who are you going for Super Bowl? He's like, hope both teams lose. The Deebo Samuel comments, right, about, Bradbury and everything. Like, all that was centered around the 49ers. Again, this year, of course, the 49ers are in the media, but they're not asking like these, like, they're I don't know how I'm saying it, but I know the 49ers this year, they're trying to be like, I think the media is trying to be more like diplomatic and trying to be like nice to them, because last year they poked the freaking bear, man. They poked the bear, and now the Niners are in Super Bowl, and now the media is trying to like switch up, like they weren't disrespectful to the Niners last year. It's crazy because whether the Niners are in the Super Bowl or not, they're the talk of the town. Last year, nobody cared about the 2 teams in the Super Bowl. Nobody cared about the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody cared about the Chiefs. I didn't hear a lot of story. Like, there was not a lot of, like, you go back. I went scroll back to the NFL stuff from last year. I wanted to look at content. There was, like, not as much coverage and not a lot of questions to the Eagles. Not a lot of questions to Mahomes. I went back, and there was, like, a lot of 49ers said this, 49ers said this. Can you believe the 49ers said this? I was like, geez, man, the 49ers run the headlines even when they're not in the Super Bowl, man. It was crazy. Sentinel says, if I was Kyle and asked the question of comp picks, I'd say don't hate the player, hate the game. Absolutely. People hating the Niners for just using what's to give it to them. So Supreme says Navarro Bowman is the next Hall of Famer. I hope so. Um, I hope so. I would like to see Navarro in there. I don't know. I don't know if he's got enough accolades to get in there. So we'll see. I know 2025 Joe Staley's up for eligibility. And Vernon Davis. I don't know if Vernon gets in first time. If Antonio Gates didn't get in first time, Vernon Davis ain't getting in first time. That is wild. I couldn't believe Antonio Gates didn't make it in last night. Andre Johnson, great receiver. He did not get selected. I was shocked. Or not Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson, sorry. What I was saying is Andre Johnson, first time receiver. He was nominated and, added to the Hall of Fame. Well, not first time. I think he's been, nominated many times, but he got selected to the Hall of Fame. But he got selected over, I think, like Marvin Harrison and a couple other big time receivers. I mean, I think Andre Johnson's great, but I think he shouldn't have gotten the nod yet. I think what I'm saying is I think they should have gave Antonio Gates the spot over Andre Johnson last night. That's just my humble opinion, but both great players. Andre's a hell of a player, but I don't think he was Hall of Fame worthy over Antonio Gates yet. That's the way I look at it. But Joe Staley, I think he could be a first ballot. I think so. I think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, California loves this. I think Davis might struggle to get in. I think so too. I think he'll get in at some point. He's not going to get in the first 2-3 years. He's a great tight end, but I don't think he'll get in initially. I just didn't, his first couple of years took him a little while to kind of get rearing, Mike Singletary had to tell him that, hey, I want winners. And after that, he kind of got a little better. So my man Tej says, we need this dub. Chiefs fans talking mad. Yeah, they are talking mad ass. We'll see how it goes, man. I'm going to stay humble, but we'll be talking after the 49ers and Chiefs play. If the 49ers win, get prepared. Get prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Sentinel Football Channel says, I just heard a fire alarm went off in the Niners hotel room last night. I don't know if this is a new one from what was reported yesterday, but yeah, yesterday in the morning at 6 a.m., there was a fire alarm that went off. I don't know if this is a new one that you're saying, but they've been dealing with a lot of just nonsense all week. I feel like the Niners have dealt with so much crap all week. It's kind of frustrating. I feel bad for this team, man. They've been dealing with so much crap. So hope that they can win this game because this is the best. This is actually good for the Niners, right? If the 49ers win, they could sit here and they could say, hey, we had to deal with the crappy field, alarms waking us up, and all this other nonsense all week, and we still. That's why I hope if the 49ers win, man. I want to be able to post all that and say, hey, look, 49ers won this game despite having crappy practice field, right? And there can be there's going to be nobody that can sit there and make any excuse. Well, the 49ers, I don't want to hear it because the 49ers having all the crap that they've had to deal with this week, while I feel like the Chiefs are being treated like kings, they've been treated like royalty lately. It's a great feeling if the 49ers win this game. So. Team Cali says, will the parade be in San Francisco or Santa Clara? Well, if the 49ers win, obviously there'll be a Super Bowl parade. It will be in San Francisco, from what I understand. So San Francisco will have a Super Bowl parade. I'm still not 100% on the date. I've heard different things. I haven't heard anything official, but I believe that it will be in San Francisco, from what I understand. So we'll see exactly when the date is. We'll announce it when the time comes, but I cannot wait for the parade if the 49ers win. On Market Street, says Sentinel Football. Yeah, Market Street. That's where they always have the parade. So San Francisco, Market Street. It's going to be a vibe that day. I'm going to go. If they win, we'll be there eating good food, celebrating, and be hyped up. We'll see. Red Eye says, Kristen got the NFL license to boatload of cash for life. Yo, shout out to Kristen Juszczyk. She's been grinding all her designs. She's finally getting recognition. She got officially NFL licensed merch for the first time she announced a couple days ago. That was dope. Her vest that she designed, it is getting placed on an auction, and all proceeds go to the National Breast Cancer Awareness Society. That is cool, man. Shout out to her, philanthropist vibes. Really cool to see that. And then she did make those specialized vests for Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy when they won the NFL FedEx Players of the Year. First time two teammates won the award, in the same year. So pretty cool. She gave those custom made to them. She's killing it. You got to love that, man. We'll see what she has up her sleeve for the Super Bowl. So Susan says, do I have a ticket? Yes, I will be there. I will be there on Sunday. I can't wait for the game. I think I'm going to wear my Christian McCaffrey jersey. That's the only jersey I packed. So I had too many choices, and I said, screw it. I closed my eyes, picked a jersey, and it was CMC. So I didn't want to have to sit there and debate it and go over my head and go crazy. I said, all right. I went to my closet, did this, picked a jersey, and it was CMC. That's the jersey we wear. We go into the game on Sunday. We're wearing the CMC jersey. So my man Media says he's going to be wearing his new Purdy jersey. Let's effing go. I love that for you. But yeah, that was a good week. Real quick, it's been actually a fun week, though, in terms of non-Niner stuff. So obviously been doing the media stuff, been checking all that stuff. But being out here in Vegas is great, man. I miss this town. That's where I'm from. So it's been a fun time, a lot of parties, a lot of good stuff. I was actually somehow found my way. I was at one place doing I was at the convention center at Mandalay Bay, and then somehow found my way yesterday to a WWE WrestleMania press conference. I'm sitting there sitting front and center. It was crazy. I saw The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and saw that. And right after that, my boy called me up. He goes, "Hey, you coming to the fight tonight?" I said, "What fight?" He told me to fight. I was like, I'll be there. Came down, go back to the Mandalay Bay, watch the fight, get out. Ran into a whole bunch of people from 49ers social media. We were chatting, hanging out, having a good time. Come back to my home, had to finally come home at some point last night. There was tons of parties, but we was out with them. But it felt like 4 days in one day yesterday. It's crazy. And then of course NFL honors and all that stuff. Just a wild time. Vegas has been insane. There's so much going on, and it's Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week's the big headline, but there's just so much other things going on top of it, and everybody's just hyped out of their mind here. So we'll see how it goes. We'll do a Super Bowl preview maybe tonight if I have time, maybe tomorrow. I want to kind of get one of these prediction shows. I'm trying to link up with Bash. Maybe we'll do a prediction show tonight if we got time, so we can go over that and break down this game. But appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good day. Haven't been live because I've been out and busy and out and about. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, all that good stuff. It was good seeing you guys for a minute and catching up. We'll definitely be live. Super Bowl, I'll be there. Can't wait for the content. Hope to see you guys on Market Street as well, Team Cali. Have a good one. Go get some last minute, things done before the Super Bowl. Get yourself locked in. We got a busy weekend ahead of us. Have a great day. Bang, bang. Niner gang.